Hey folks, Mac T here, and I am inside my Ford Edge. I had some thermometers set up in here, but apparently it's too hot for the thermometers. But it is about 93 or 94 degrees outside with about 105, 106 degree heat index, I guess is what we're going to call it. And I'm sitting in the car. It is boiling hot in here, okay? No windows are up, down, or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and start my Ford Edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on full max AC recirc. And we're going to count down to see how long it's going to take to cool it down to, say, about 74, 75 degrees. Depending on how long I want to sit in here in the car and see if it ever does get to that point. But it's not going to be driven. It's just going to be an idle. So how good is the Ford Edge AC system on a 2011 Ford Edge 3.5? So let's get her started. First things first, let's get her cranked.
Get involved in...
Turn that off, hit max AC, fan all the way up. Fans all the way up, and it says inside the car it's 99 degrees and it's 2:30 in the afternoon. So let's see how long it takes to cool us down and get to a decent temperature. Maybe my thermometer, don't count on a Harbor Freight thermometer, the darn thing shut off. It won't even work. So hopefully it does start cooling it down, and then it'll start functioning, and we can tell from that as we go. I also have another one right back here, as you can see, and it's zeroed out because it's too hot. So once my camera lens stops fogging up, I'll go ahead and turn that on. Right now I'm just using my phone. So let's go ahead and see how long it takes. I'm sure you can hear the noise of the fan blowing, but right now you can see probably we're at 68.7 coming out of the vent, full throttle on the AC, and it's cooling down bit by bit. And this one, as you can see, is not quite there, but we're working on it. Well, folks, I got it running. Right now at the main center vent, I guess the passenger side vent, I'm running about 65.5, and it is ever so slowly dropping. It's now 65.3. So once the whole system starts getting itself going, I think we'll see what our ultimate temperature is. And keep in mind, this is an AC system that has never been serviced on a 2011 Ford Edge and has 285,000 miles on it. So let's see how well this thing will cool down. I will tell you, it does on the highway get so cold that I actually have to turn the temperature up to keep from freezing out. So this is a pretty extreme test. Not too many people will just get in their car and just leave it idle until it cools. But some of you with remote starts may do that. You may actually say, hey, I'm going to run it. I think it runs, what, 10, 15, 20 minutes on the start, depending on how long you set it to do on the remote start. But this will show you what you can get in 20 minutes. So at 20-minute mark, we'll check to see what a remote start may be like if you're just sitting out in the sun like I am and you decide to remote start it and have the AC running. So we'll check back on that. In the meantime, I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I'll come back in about 20 minutes and check in occasionally, see what's going on and how fast we're cooling down. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up to my Forescan, and once I get connected to that, I will go ahead and reset it for all the air conditioning PIDs so we can see what the lines are doing and everything else in lines with that. And right now we'll go ahead and get that going. And the fans, of course, are working. Engine coolant temp shot right up because it's pretty warm. Generators working, alternator, and short-term field trims and everything. But what we do have is our AC is commanded on. There's no faults to it. The AC pressure is 251, 252 back and forth there. And then the voltage for it is 2.43 volts. So basically we're looking at an AC pressure about 251 as far as PSI during operation at idle. So we're going to go ahead and see what we got. Right now the AC is down to 58.6 degrees Fahrenheit at the vent, and it's still dropping ever so slowly. In the back temperature, let's check that. We were at about 103, now we're diving down to 102. So how long is it going to take us to get down to, say, 75 degrees? How cold this does get after about 20 minutes, and then we'll know our answer. But right now I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable in this, and the AC pressure is up to 261 PSI as we're speaking. So we're going to continue on going and see how it is. But remarkably, folks, I'm pretty comfortable in here. Now, when you get in your edge, other things you want to make sure you take into account when you say it ain't working good or it's really hot. Those first 5 or 10 minutes, that AC is doing something you probably don't think about. But if you're like me and all the interior is black, well, first of all, the air has to cool all the interior surfaces that have heated up to 100 and some degrees, say 130 degrees. So now you have to have the AC blowing out, cooling the vents at first, because remember, that plastic's hot, so it has to cool all that plastic down and everything internally in the dash. Then that cold air comes out, it has to make contact with all the surfaces and start cooling all the surfaces down, because if I touch them, they're still warm to the touch. So that radiant heat is going to be hitting you just like the dash. That heat just comes right at you. So you have to cool the entire interior surface of the car down in order to maintain a better cooling. So it won't happen right away. You got to keep that in mind when you're doing this. It's just not going to happen very fast. But as we can see now, I'm about 14 minutes into it. AC pressure is 258, and the vent is now at 57.7. So we're still working at it. We're still going, and we'll see what we got going on here as far as the cooling abilities and how low does it get under idle. Like I said, I think we got some airflow. I do have some airflow in the back and the center, but it is not strong at all, folks. It is very weak. But the air is blowing up, and it's over here. It's getting to the back. 21 minutes into it, we're at 99 degrees, and our vent is at a wonderful, what is it, 56.321, and our temperature is 85 in the back seat. So we're gonna keep going and see what we got going on here in the back seat, along with anything else. Now, as we're going through this, the ACP pressure, the air conditioning pressure for what's going on here is bumping up around 265, and it was up to 270. It just sort of cycles around that. So that is the pressure on here. Voltage is remaining about 2.5 volts, and no faults, command on everything. The engine coolant temperature is 194. In the interior, we have 55.6 at the vent, with the back seat running at 84.4. So we got a ways to go. I was reading it wrong earlier, but it's 84.4, and we got a ways to go. About another 9 degrees, and hopefully we can get down to 75. But we'll keep going, see how long it takes. We're now at 31 minutes, and the vent temperature is about 53.8 degrees by the crow flies. Yes, that's Not stellar, but hey, it's cool. That's all that counts, right? So we're looking at it. It's bumping, trying to bump down below 54, and it sort of goes up and down a little bit, but as you can see in the video, it is getting there. And we are now at about 82 degrees, right there, 82, and we're getting there. It's going to take a while. It might be an hour, but we're dropped a few degrees since the last check-in, so we'll keep on going and see what is going to happen as far as the cooling goes. Does it take an hour to get it down to 75, and can we reach 75? Well, I'm going to assume we can with a AC vent system of 54 degrees. I'm thinking we can do it, but how long will it take is the question. 45 minutes I've been running. It is now 3:15 in the afternoon. Let's check our temperatures and see where we're at 45 minutes of just idle. And what we are seeing is we are down to 52.9. That's right, at the vent, 52.9. So we're getting there. It's starting to drop slowly but surely. And let's check the back. Here's the back. And by golly, folks, look at that. 78.6. We may actually make this yet. 78.6. 45 minutes, so we got another 3.5 degrees or so to go to hit to our goal of 75. So I'll check back in here in about another 10 minutes and see where we're at that point. Maybe we can do this in under an hour. We'll wait and see. Let's go ahead and check our forescan out and see what our pressures are doing. So we're going to go ahead and zip on up to those. And here we go. We still have an engine coolant temp of 196. Fans are running well over 90% for speed, so they're running just about as fast as they can go to keep this engine cool at 196 in idle at 99 degrees. I'm going to say my fans are working peachy. Yes, and then the generator, the amperage is really about 85 amps running the AC just sitting there parked. But what is our AC pressure at? Remember, it started out, 250 or so? It is now up to 288 PSI. That's right. The longer it runs, the higher it gets. And then our voltage is bumped up a bit from 250 to 2.65 volts. So, yeah, things are starting to creep up here on the AC pressure and the voltage as we draw more demand on the AC system. Just sitting here in idle, just trying to cool this edge off. So we'll come back here in about another 5 or 10 minutes and we'll see where we're at as far as temperature. It's been an hour now since I started this edge and hit the AC on max recirculate. So let's go ahead and check out what the temperatures are. And I can tell you that the outside temperature hasn't changed. It still says 99 degrees outside. Let's go ahead and see what the AC is doing at the vent. Going right here to the video. And as we can see, we are running 51.6 at the vent, 51.4. So that's a slight drop from when it was about 15 minutes ago. And then if we look at the temperature, by golly, we might be done with this yet. Look at that. 76.3. So, we are getting there. Yes, I'm going to bet it another 15 minutes we might be there. So, it might take about an hour and 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and let it run some more. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and check what the forescan is doing as far as our AC pressures. Get everything set up here. Get this forescan hooked up. Here we go. Now we can check the pressures out. And as we can see, the engine temp, put my glasses on here so I can read, is still 196, with the fan still running about 92%. And let's see, we have the AC pressure at about 278, 279, and the voltage is still remaining at 2.67 volts. So yeah, the pressure keeps going up ever so slightly as it's running and heating up, but overall I say we're in good shape, so we can carry on, and I'll be back in about another 10 or 15 minutes to see if we can hit that 75 degrees at idle without driving, and what the Ford Edge AC system is capable of. Hey, 1 hour and 15 minutes later, and we are at 75 degrees in the back seat. So let's go ahead and check out what our temperatures are and see what it took to get down to 75. Now, if we're going to look, one thing we do notice, 50.7 coming out of the vent. That's right, 50.7, so it dropped since the last time, and we are still at that 99 degrees, and it is 3:45, which is 1 hour and 15 minutes since we started this whole test. Let's check the back seat, and we are now officially at 75 degrees. That's right, folks, we made it. So as far as everything goes in this test, I will say that it takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes at a 99 degree temp to reach that. So let's check and see what the AC system was actually doing, because we want to know what is going on with this AC system as far as the testing goes. So let's go ahead and pull up the old foreskin, get that ready, and let's see what we got here. We're still 196 at the engine coolant temp, and the fans are still running at 92%. And what else do we got? We have the AC pressure at 274, and as you can see here, 2.62 volts. Still chugging along, still doing a good job as far as we're concerned. So that is definitely a good thing to be going on. Our AC system is in a full operation on this Edge, and if you don't believe me how many miles this thing's got on it, holy cow, let me show you. I'll take a quick video of that so you guys can see. This is Lou, and Lou is running at, what is it? Running at 284,868 miles. So this AC system at this age and miles has never been touched. That's right, this is the originally filled AC system, and that means it is about, what, 8 years old? A little over 8 years or something like that. So not doing bad for reliability. I'm going to say it's doing good. Now, one thing in cavity off, if you have a sunshade to put on your dash, there is no doubt in my mind that this test would have went a lot faster. That keeping that sun off that dash, it's hot to the touch, but all the other surfaces I can touch in here that are not in the sun are all cool to the touch. That means it's sucked all the heat out of the surface that is not getting sun exposure. So a sunshade on the front dash would probably dramatically help cool this car down, or a ceramic coating on the front windshield, and then of course some ceramic or tinting on the side windows would definitely help speed this whole process along. You know, everybody loves shade, right? So this is out in the hot sun, and you know, that's just the way it is here for me, and I got everything situated. So we made it below 75 degrees, hour and 15 minutes. So rest assured your Ford Edge can do it. Remember, like and subscribe. Join MACTFORDEDGE on YouTube and also Facebook. Join up with that group and go to MacTGarage.com. And of course, check out all the oil samples, forescan information, social media, buy t-shirts, stickers. Also go and check out car parts for all your model year Ford Edges that we have there. And also, you know, Band of One's got some great music. It might be at the Ford today. I'm having a great day. I want you to have a great day too.
Thank you for watching MacT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.